Hello guys, today, welcome to Aquatics. Today we got a special treat for you. We're going to be teaching you how to straighten a beard. Alright, just want to plug it in, turn it on. So these little pink things here, that hurt. Well, once you touch it, it will like straighten your beard. Your beard. Alright, heat it up. Alright, that's straight.
Hey.
That's how you straighten your beard. You might want to do it on your dad while he's sleeping.
No. Good morning, everybody. Luke with Premium Aquatics here. Thanks for stopping by. It was Ella's 8th birthday last weekend, and we're celebrating this weekend, so what better way than to let her have a little bit of fun here. So we appreciate you tuning in. Today we are looking at the Nyos Quantum Protein Skimmers. I've got it already up on the system. You saw it. I wanted to get a little bit of aeration, so we've got it already up. But I took it back out, dismantled it, put it back together to show you, and then obviously right now I don't have a huge bio load, but as time progresses, once we get some fish added in there, we'll keep reviewing this skimmer and see how it does in the long run, do more fine-tune adjustments as we get a bio load, and we'll keep you updated on. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the Nyos Quantum S120. It's dirty. I apologize. I didn't clean it up before. I knew it was going to be a little bit dirty, but from this and all the salt. So as it dried, I got all this nice salt creep going on. But let's go over what this is. This is rated from 25 to 125 gallons, so it's got a nice wide range. Works really well for small systems and still medium tanks as well. So this is going to be perfect for my system. It has the Quantum 1.0 pump on here, collection cup. A lot of people, at least in the past, and it's gotten a lot better, but it used to be where you'd have to have 3 or 4 inches clearance to be able to get this collection cup off to be able to pull it out and dump your skim mate. With this little twist, we're looking at maybe ½ an inch of clearance to be able to unlock this, pull it up just enough to get over the lip. So if you're looking at tight spaces, you know, this can still work out really well for you. So that's nice. It doesn't have a drain port, so you won't get that with this collection cup. For the body itself, there's a couple of different things going on here. I'm going to dismantle this here in just a second, but we have the curved body, which allows for less resistance on the bubbles. It has your standard bubble plate, but then it also has what they call like a tornado or a twister plate. It's making these bubbles that are being created by the pump twist before they go all the way up. Under most circumstances, the more contact time we have in this chamber, the better we're off. So the fact that they do that twisting motion just to give a hair more contact time within this chamber is really nice. Obviously, we have our silicone hose here. We have the air silencer and then our adjustment for the water level. The nice thing on this air silencer is actually they do a dual adjustment. So if we turn it here, we have our adjustment for the water output. We also have a screw that we can adjust on the air silencer, and this actually is to adjust the air that's getting pulled in, and it just allows that much more fine tuning to the water level and everything that's going in your skimmer. It's nice to have that. Once you obviously set it up, usually you're not going to be messing with it again, but that initial setup, it's really nice to have these different options of fine tuning just to make it as efficient as possible. I had the skimmer cup off. I've just been letting the water flow right out. It's not a huge deal anyways, because most skimmers go through a break-in period where it's going to be way too high for it to really be able to skim anything. So normally what we do is, what some people will do is just take this collection cup off and just let it go. Eventually then it'll start settling down and you'll start being able to actually fine tune it and get get the water level exactly where you need to be for your system. I'll have this on for a while, so once we do get fish in, we can look at the skim mate, see how it's performing for me, and see what kind of adjustments maybe I need to do to precision tune this to my system. So let me get a screwdriver. We'll take off this base. Okay, so we're going to take off our screws. You need a flathead. There's 4, 1 on each corner to take off the body of the skimmer, and then there's 4 more holding on the pump, and 1 putting the bubble plates together. That don't really need to mess with, but grab your tiniest screwdriver that you have. That's what I had. So it works, so we won't complain. I lied. Okay, there we go. Okay, so got these 4. They have little tabs here that they clamp down basically on to clamp on to the body of the skimmer down to the base plate. So we have those 4, don't lose them. Oh, let's take out the venturi, and that allows us to take off the body. I'm going to set that to the side here, and let's take a look at the pump. Like I said, there is one screw up here that basically puts these 2 bubble plates together. This actually just is held on by a silicone fitting here that basically just slides down on the pump. But if you'd want to take this out and do some heavy duty cleaning, you would just undo the screw. But here you can see the little twister action that we're talking about to try and force the bubbles into a circular motion to give a little bit more of contact time within the water and in that chamber. So that's what that is all about. Really cool design there. Let me take off this pump here real quick as well. And one thing that you will want to do is follow the instructions on getting this pump in here, because I didn't. I thought, I'll show you here. There are these 2 acrylic brackets that screw down and that will hold this pump into place on the base plate. So we're going to take off those screws. These 2 acrylic pieces already come installed on the base plate. You'll need to remove one of them because if you don't, it's just a pain in the neck to try and get this pump to sit in properly. And I just, for whatever reason, it just wouldn't work for me, because I thought, oh, I'll be smart and I'll just slide it on in there, and it didn't work whatsoever. So this is basically the setup, and you can remove both of these if you want to do some more deep cleaning. Remove both of those, get it going. This little foam pad here just to minimize any vibrations that are coming from the pump, so they're not getting onto the base plate and causing more vibration throughout the entire chamber. And then these are the little tabs here that these little acrylic plates hold on to. And it goes very specific. You have one that is more angled and one that has a little bit more of a 90, and they basically just sit on there and hold the pump in, and they screw it down. Another cool little feature they have is if we take this apart and we pull out this impeller, one, they have 2 little O-rings on each bushing, which is kind of nice. It makes it seat very snugly. But on the impeller head, hopefully you can tell here, we have our standard pinwheels that come off this disc. But another feature that they like to add in here is, if you can tell on the back here, there's slots. It gives another part to this impeller to chew up that water and create more air-water mixture within it. When you do reseat these, make sure you're very careful about seating them in place. Obviously, you don't want to break the shaft here, but you do want to make sure that these bushings get seated properly, because there is no ring on this little cap here, which doesn't actually screw in. That just kind of pushes in place, and then this piece here is what actually keeps it attached onto the pump. So now it's locked in place. So now with these brackets, I'm going to screw one of them in. Just make them so they're loose. Don't tighten them all the way down, because you will want a little bit of wiggle room just to ensure that everything is seated properly with your pump first. Now we can slide the pump in here. Hopefully you can see that. These acrylic pieces over this black tabs there down below, and then we'll just slide on this piece over that. What I did at first was everything was in place and just a little bit loose, and I thought maybe I could push it in there and slide it in, and it just didn't work out very well. So then just add your other 2 screws and then once everything's in place, you can tighten it down. You do want those to be fairly snug, obviously, because if you have anything loose on these brackets, it can cause more vibration, so make sure that those are fairly tightened down. And then with this, we can just put this back on, and I guess I can unscrew it here real quick just to show you what it looks like. That's what these two parts are here. So when you do your deep cleaning and maintenance on a skimmer, you'll want to take those apart just to ensure that all of this is cleaned up. And then we'll just put that back together and screw it back on. We just slide it onto the pump and we're back up and running for the pump. Now we'll just put the skimmer body back on here, screw that back down, and we'll get it back in the system. I will say there is only one way you can put this body on. This is the hole for the venturi, which goes to the front of the pump. And then on the back, there is a slot here in the base plate for the cord to go into, so everything is nice and smooth. So you just need to be aware of that and make sure that that cord is tucked in before you go tightening anything down. These little clips that you screw down have a small curved portion which are taken out of the base plate, so it makes it so this is going to sit in here. It's going to keep it very tight. If you watch this, if you look real closely here as I turn it back on down by this disc here, you can actually see them start to turn immediately as soon as they get up into that area. So take a look at the that first disc real quick again. Watch closely, you'll see that the bubbles start to rotate. So that is pretty cool. We've got it running. Now to adjust my levels and get my water level inside the chamber higher or lower, first we'll adjust the main portion here, where if we close it down, it's going to raise the water level inside my body, which will raise the bubbles inside as well as a result. This screw is more for fine-tune adjustments. This is not really meant to be done too much with, because obviously you want air and a lot of bubbles inside your system. Enjoy this relaxing time as we watch bubbles. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. I have a party to finish planning. Have a great weekend. As always, there's going to be links in the description below for everything that we talked about today. I will see you next weekend. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you stay the most up to date on this system as well as our other videos. And we'll see you next weekend. You want to say bye? Wave. Say bye. Okay.